Hi and welcome to my channel. Today we've got another episode of doing some hexagon journals with our templates. Today I'm going to be using the 2-inch template, and our previous video was on this bigger 4-inch journal, and I have gone ahead and I have nakedly dressed this journal. Okay, so I haven't put any like ephemera pictures or anything like that in it because I want it to be a little art journal. So at the end of this video I will show you how I have placed all the naked journal pieces inside this journal. But today now we are going to start on this little smaller one. Now this is like I said, a 2-inch journal, and the way this one is different is that it's made from one big sheet. We're not going to glue or make tabs on the edges of this hexagon or anything like that on this one. Okay, so this one has got signatures in the front and the back. Every single valley fold on this one has a little signature. So what I want to do, I did make out a pattern, but my camera does not like the whole white. Oh, I might be able to sneak it on. I will put a insert in here and then you can take a screenshot of that insert. My camera doesn't like stark white things, but I'm going to refer back to this as I help you to make this this little journal. Alright, now it looks complicated, but it is quite easy. It's just all how you fold it and how you add your little signatures in. Okay, and it's made up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 little hexagons. Okay, and then when I flip it over, I've got signatures on this side as well. So it's quite fun to do this little one, and it would fit in your handbag. It'd be a great little notepad or anything like that. Alright, now I remember last video I put under here a piece of that shopping bag that I glued together. Okay, so if you missed that, refer back to the previous video and you'll get all the information there how I pulled those shopping bags apart. And this one here, I'm just going to see if it will fit. It'll just fit on here. Yeah, it's only just going to fit on here. The 10. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how big then this is. So where are we? 12. This would be about 13.5 inches or 31 to 33 centimeters by 30 centimeters or 12 inches. So you need a piece of card at least that big to do 2-inch hexagons. All right, now this one here, like I said, you don't need to cut any tabs or anything like that. So you will start, and I've just got to just refer to my pattern just a little bit because I want to get this nicely onto this piece of card so that I've got enough room for everything. So what I might do is start right up one end, and I'm just seeing how wide this is compared to my card. Right, so what we're going to do on this one is we're going to trace all our hexagons, and it's not hard. It just takes just a little bit of time just to trace. Okay, you can see there's one there. Now when you put the next one on top, just go right up to your line, because you know when you mark something with a pencil, it's a little bit away from the line. Just go right up to your line and then add your next hexagon. And then our next row will be in the indent of the previous one. So I just want to cover that light so I can see. Okay. And then your next one, I'm just shading this so I can get it in the right spot. Excuse my head. Okay, and then you repeat it. You come back down here and you repeat it again. Right, if you can see that, I've got them all marked out. So I've got 3 hexagons, 2 hexagons, 3 hexagons, 2 hexagons, and they all fit inside each other. Okay, and now what we need to do is make the cuts. That I'm going to cut out the entire edge, outer edge, which I've got marked here in green. So do that. Right, we've got our shape cut out. Now let's look where we need to cut. I've got the 3 hexagons here matching the 3 hexagons on that right hand side, and I can see the cut lines here go 1, 2, 3 up these hexagons on the right hand side. So let's make those cuts. Okay, so we've made those 3 cuts, and then I'll change my pattern over to this side because my camera doesn't like a whole a whole thing of white. Okay, and then our other cuts are going to be on this left side where there's only 2, and we're going to start up here and cut right around this bar 1 of them. So it shows me that I start cutting up here, then we are going to cut right around this central hexagon, except for the last line. Okay, so we have all our cuts made now, and you can see that on here, and you can see that it worms around the hexagons, and that's how it will fold. Okay, and you can see how if you had more hexagons you could keep going in a worm shape and make an awesome fat journal. Okay, the next part on our pattern is we need to see where we need to fold. Now I've got marked in here, like before, like the previous pattern, the red was for cut, the green was for outer, the blue were for folds, which ones you fold. The purple is mountain folds, the yellow is valley folds. So we need to pay attention to our valley and mountain folds. All right, so our first one in here, if we look at on the pattern, is a valley fold where we start in here. Okay, so we're going to put our bone folder on there and just give it a couple of pushes so it creases it, and we are going to do a valley fold. Get your bone folder, give that a good push down like that. So if we look on here, the next one is a mountain fold. So let's get our ruler on here, give that a score with our bone folder. And we're not going to do a valley, we're doing a mountain fold, and it's just as easy as that. Okay, so each one is going to be the opposite: mountain, valley, mountain, valley. Okay, and until we have them all, and try and get them all lined up, all the hexagons, so they match each other. And our next one then is a valley fold. So we're just going to score that. And we will do a valley fold. And just when you're doing all your folds, make sure they all line up, all those hexagons, as good as you can get them. It's not going to be perfect, it's a handmade product. Now our next one says it is a mountain fold, so we're going to put a score in that and do that into a mountain fold, and line up all your hexagons, give it a good push like that. Okay, what's our next one? Our next one is this one. Is it this one? Hang on. Let's have a look. So we've gone all around here. That's our mountain fold. This one we're up to is our valley fold. Okay. And let's put them all together so that we can match those hexagons. Make sure you give that a good crease down. Right, so we just did a valley fold, and we're up to this one here, which says it's a mountain fold. Let's fold that and then fold that one over and make sure it matches those other hexagons. Give that a good crease like that, and then that's this one. Let's move our pattern over to this side so our camera doesn't go crazy. And we're up to, we just did this mountain fold, we're up to this one here, which is a valley fold. Okay, so we'll fold that valley, match it with that hexagon, give it a nice push down, and then we see what our next one is. So we just did this one, did we? Yeah, yep, we just did that valley. So our next one is a mountain. And make sure they match those other hexagons, even if you have to pull it into the right spot. Give that a good bone fold down. And our last one is a valley fold. match up. The hexagons, make sure they all match up. Like I said, even if you have to jimmy that fold down a little bit, and then push that down nice and hard. Let's go all the way around, give them a nice crease, and you've done all your folding. Okay, that is the base bones of this little hexagon book, and I'll have another screenshot of this at the end so that you don't miss the instructions on how to fold that. Alright, now let's unfold this and put it back in the shape that it was. And now we are going to pay attention to where our valleys are, because this is where we want to oops, round this way. Where did you go? Oh yeah, I'll get you in there. This is where we want to mark where we are going to put our signatures. Alright, so if you see on the pattern, which way? This way is the pattern. Okay, you can see where I've written the letter S, and that means that's where you sew in your signature. But it's easy to remember that because you're only going to sew signatures into a valley fold. Okay, so now the way that I did this on both sides was that when you finish one side, okay, marking in all your valleys, let's mark them in, V, 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 V. Okay, we've got all them marked in. Now if you want signatures on both sides, all you need to do is flip it over and put the V on all the valleys on this side, which were mountain folds on the other side. Okay, and you won't have as many valleys on this side as the front side. Okay, you're only going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and on this side you are going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you'll have 5 signatures on one side and 4 on the other. So just remember that the signatures only get sewn into valley folds. Okay, I can write that on here, I suppose, and or you can write it on your pattern, valley folds only. Okay, so only sew your signatures into your valley folds. Right, let's set this aside because, like I said, the bones are done. Let's have a look at our signatures, and what I have prepared for that is some more tea-dyed paper. Now what I've done with them, these are A4 sheets. Oops, and I've folded them in half. You're going to go in half. And you'll get 2 on one sheet with the with this 2-inch template. Now if you don't have these clear templates or 2-inch template, hop on the internet and type in 2-inch hexagon template and you'll be able to print one out off the internet. Okay, so don't stress if you don't have one. Now I'm just going to fold all these in half, so you will need 9. Now if you're only having 2 pages, like 1, 2, fold 9. If you want more, you know, if you want 4 pages like I did in the previous one, you will need to fold 18 pages. Okay, I have got 18 pages here, 9 of each sort of colour that I wanted to sort of put in here. We'll do them in lots of 3. Okay, and then that will be easier to cut. So you'll only need to mark 6. Like I did in the previous one, I like to do a little bit of time saving on how I cut things. So you will need to mark at least 3 of these and put your template, okay, use one of the flat edges right against that fold. And you're just going to mark off then the remaining sides. So one of the sides will be on the fold down here, and you will get 2 from this A4 piece of paper. Okay, so then you only need to mark 3 of them because we're doing them in bundles. Alright, we've got all our signatures marked out. Now we need to cut them. I can find, oh, there's my scissors, and I'm going to use clips like before, just to keep, again, jimmy all those folds down together. Make sure all the folds on this, where on this one side of the hexagon where you marked them, because they will be our signature pages. And I'm just going to put some clips on, and that's going to help me hold it all together while I cut. And we're just going to cut all of them out. Okay, you are going to be left with quite a few ends, and if you want to save them, go right ahead. These would make great anything in your junk journal, strips of anything. We've got all sorts of beautiful patterns on there, so I will save all these because these take time to make, so I'm not going to throw any of those big pieces out. I will save all them. And then you've got all these little scraps. Now you could put them in your little scrap bucket too, or just save the ones with little cute patterns on them. And I will put them all in my scrap bucket because they could save me a lot of time when I'm making something. Okay, so we've got all our signatures cut out, and then what you're going to do is go ahead and put them all together how you'd want them to sit. Now remember, we're going to end up with 9, if you want them front and back, and it just depends how many you want, what you want them to, where you want them to sit, and yeah, just put them all together. Okay, so my 18 pages of A4 gave me 9 signatures with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages in each little signature. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on both sides. I think I'm going to be very ambitious here and see how that all goes. All right. I've got some thread, and I'm going to use the same nice coloured thread that I did in my previous hexagon. And where is my needle? I've got a darning needle that's got a point on it. Is that the one I used? Yeah, I think it was. Plus I have an awl and a pad. Okay, and I'll just put all my bundles up there out of the way, and we'll work on this. Okay, I cut some off? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm just going to cut the length of that off. I'll show you probably 2, and then I'll quicken the video up so that it doesn't drag out. So we're going to, this is how the pattern sits with the 2 on the left side. So we'll start up here at the very first one, and it's a valley. Okay, we're going to pick our signature out, tuck it all down nice and neat, so all the they all fit together. Now, if at this stage, if you want to, you could just clip them off so they do all sit neatly, because you know how you have more pages in a signature and the inside ones tend to poke out. This is where you could trim them up before you sew them in, and it'll be the easiest. All right, now open up your signature. Remember to use your clips. And we'll put this on our first valley and match up all those hexagons. Okay, get your awl, and we're just going to eyeball this as well, just like the last one. You put a hole in the middle and one either side. And then grab your thread. We're going to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. We're going to come in at the middle, leave a little tail, go in through the back, we're going to miss this middle hole and go down to the furthest hole, and then back through the middle, making sure that your thread doesn't get hooked on all your clips for a start, and that you've got thread either side of that main string that goes down the center, and then just give it a little tug to tighten it. You can do a square knot, that won't come undone, so a square knot goes left over right, tighten that up, and then right over left, and that's how you do a square knot. You could put a little bow in it, whatever you want to do, and then just clip the strings, and you've got your first signature in. Right, take the clips off, and at this point you could look at your pages and go, I don't like how they're hanging out, so I'm going to give them a little clip. You could do that if you want to, because it's easier to tidy it up at this stage than when you've got it all covered and everything. Right, so we've got our first signature in. Then we're going to see where our next one is, and here is the V on here, so we're going to put our next signature in there, and you're just going to tidy up all your hexagons, get them all down in the right spot next to each other. Okay, we're going to put the pad under that V, that next one that says V, and we're going to clip that up, aren't we? Because we need to do that. Oops, and it's fallen out everywhere. Okay, so we're going to sit that. You might need to fold that one up out of the way, so just sit that down in there, clip that onto your cardboard, and then we're going to do the 3 holes, one in the middle, one either side, and we're just eyeballing it. You don't need to measure this at all. Go in through the middle to the back, and keep a little tail. Go back through the next hole up, Don't pull your tail through, miss that middle hole and go back down into the last hole and then go back through the middle, making sure you've got a string coming out on either side of that long middle string. Okay, give that a little tug so it tightens it all. Then we're going to go left over right and then right over left. And then cut your strings. And I like the coloured strings in here, it just gives it a nice little pop. Right, now we're going to fold that and we'll just give these a little clip and tidy up. Looks hanging over. I think that needs a little clip there too. Okay, that looks nice. And then let's lay this back down. So we've got 2 signatures in. Our next valley is this one down here. Alright, I have all my signatures in to one side, and that's the 5 signatures. Okay, and I need to just have a look at that and see how that if that needs trimming a little bit. Make sure that will sit neatly. Okay, now let's fold it up, and I'm going to see if, oh, doesn't it fold up? Cool, look how thick it is. And then let's flip the whole thing over. Okay, and it shows you then where I've marked the valleys, and we're going to do exactly the same on this side. Alright, I have got all my pages in. This is a crazy junk journal. Right, now I'm going to put it back the way it was. So I've got the 5 junk journals facing me. Now I've got 1, 2, 1, 2, around this way. Right, I've got it back to the 5 original ones. Okay, and we start to fold here. Okay, so we're going to make that valley fold, mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold, valley, mountain, valley. Look at that. Look how many pages you have in here. So you have, I'm no good at math, so I'm going to look this up. So you have, we had 9 signatures, didn't we? And we had 8 pages in each signature. So 9 times 8 equals, you've got 72 little hexagon pages in there. How awesome is that? That is an awesome little chunky junk journal. I love this. So when you open this page up, you're going to go that way, and then you can change direction as you open them up. If the next fold is in a different direction, just change direction. You don't have to have the whole thing open flat. And if this one changes direction, close that up, change direction. This one changes direction, so let's go this way. So the 4, oh gosh, I'm lost now. Well, you could number them if you wanted to. You could go ahead and number them, but you have got 9 little I got totally lost then. You've got 9 little signatures in here, and if you don't like them flopping like that, you can just tie them up with something, and you have an awesome little junk journal. All right, we are going to leave this one as it is, because I think I'll just use this. I might cover the front and the back just so I can see which is the front and the back, and I can find my way around this junk journal. But we'll leave that one where it is and enjoy it like that. And like I said, I might put 2 covers on it. But let's go on to this one, and we will see how I have finished this naked journal. And I just want to today do some really simple decorating in here. Where's my glue stick? I have cut, I have used my 4-inch template again and cut multiple pieces of paper. Now I've cut a tea dyed paper and other pieces of this craft paper as well, and I have trimmed them up just with my decal edge scissors, just to give them a different edge, you know, on them. So I want to I think I'll put a piece of paper under this because it's going to get glue everywhere, and I just want to cover some of those inside pages with some different paper. Okay, I'm going to put this one on the inside of my cover. Like that, just to cover up the fabric that was folded over. I think that looks nice. And then you will remember that I had some of these that were still had the what do you call it, the shopping bag words on it. I'm just wondering how to cover up this, because I don't like that. You can still sort of see the black. Let me have a little go at this. and then I'll put some tea stain on it. Maybe that could help. But you'll do a better job than me, and you'll pay attention to your pages when you glue them together, because I didn't, obviously. So I'll just get some ink and we'll see if I can, yeah, that's working okay. So what's this one? Vintage photo. I'm just trying to disguise these letters. And let's see if that works. Yeah, that's not too bad, hey? You can't notice it too much. Put a little bit more. Alright, so we'll glue this hexagon on. And that looks a lot nicer than the big black Aldi words. Oh, haven't you got glue on your corner? Alright, that is one done. And we'll open this up and do our next one. Right, that is the basics of the one side of it done. I haven't covered the other side. Let's open it up. Okay, so I've done all of that this side. If you look at, like, think of it as one side of a flower and then another side. So I've decorated all that. If I flip it over, I still have, I've done one side there. I still have all these that don't have anything on it, and I will have to cover that one. So what I was thinking with this side was something that's a bit thinner, and I was thinking about these paper bags. I've got some, they're just lunch bags, so I'll get a few of them out. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab 3 out. I'm hoping they will cover that writing. I'm hoping they'll be big enough. Yep. So you want to choose something that is thinner, because I don't want to add a whole lot of bulk to this. Otherwise I would have made my cover thicker in the spine area. So you don't have to cut these out one by one, just put some clips on, do it all together. That's the best way to cut things out when you're doing multiples. Save you so much time. And look, if you've got a die, you could use that too. I haven't got a die that's this big in the hexagons, but I do have a set of hexagon dies. What am I doing? I was going to use this. Let's see if this decal edge one will cut it. Because it's quite thin, this paper, so but it's just going to give me a cleaner edge, not a cleaner edge, it's just going to give me a cleaner surface. Let's have a look. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I will cover all this side with the paper bag. Okay, I have covered everything. That's the back side as such, and that is the inside with the signatures in it. And I'll fold it up. Then we've got a valley, mountain, valley, and there. So it folds up quite well. I'm probably still a little short on that cover, but as it sits and squishes down, I think it will be okay. See, I've got just a little bit hanging out here, but that's not bothering me. That's not bothering me. So when you use the junk journal, you open it that way, and then you can start writing on it, doing pictures. Oh, that's come undone. I must not put enough glue on that one. Come on. Time to stick down. So you open it this way, and then you've got pages that open like that are tea-dyed, that you can write on or whatever. Next page, and these ones here that I've put coloured card on, they're the ones I want to do some artwork or something on. Okay, and then you can turn it like this as well, like this. You can see that that is the, you know, the back side of it. I might have to go around and put some more glue on some of them. And then we've got more pages. The most of the album you can access like this before you need to change its direction. Okay, and then you can flip it that way and access those pages. So that you've got all the back to do things on as well, not just the front. There's all sorts of there's spots everywhere, you know, that you can add things because it opens up into this big flower shape. There's so much space to write on. That's the basics of what I want to decorate in here. I wanted to keep it fairly plain, but I might even some of these sorts of little napkin things, I may you know, put little bits and pieces of Australian sort of flora or fauna on it. I've got lots of different Australiana type napkins that have got flowers and koalas and all sorts of things on it, and birds, and so that will be in the process, but I think I will do that as I do the artwork in it. Yeah, so I sort of wanted to make it a little Australiana art journal, and as I do those little works of art, I will come on and I'll do them online with you, and yeah, we'll fill this little book up eventually, I hope, and put little words in it and all sorts of things. But I'll go around and I'll check that everything's glued down properly. Alright, so that is just a little quick look at how I just finished this little hexagon shaped junk journal off. I hope you've enjoyed watching that. I really enjoyed making this one, and oh yeah, looks like I do have to get in there and put bits of glue in spots that oh gosh, that's hard to get off, spots that I've missed. Alright, if you're new here, I'd love it if you'd like, share and subscribe. Press the bell button to get notifications. It wasn't anything real crazily heavily decorated in this video, but I just wanted to show you how I covered, you know, all those bits and pieces and what I covered it with, just to so that you could add your own bits and pieces to this, or artwork, or whatever you'd like to do in a little hexagon shaped journal. Alright, take care guys, and I'll see you soon for the next video with the next make. Bye.